Aristotle once said that to understand ourselves, we have to understand our world, the environment we live in.
2,000 years later, we understand more than ever that the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we grow has an effect on our health. The less healthy our environment, the less healthy we are.
While in the past we might have been more concerned about viruses and bacteria and things like that, these days we also have to consider the chemical onslaught that's happened since the Second World War, when chemicals that were developed for germ and chemical warfare were applied to industrial uses, and now we have hundreds of thousands of chemicals that are used in the products that we come in contact with.
Although the world is different, the genetic information contained in our DNA is basically the same as it was thousands of years ago, information which governs how to build and regenerate the human body. What has changed is the quality of the building materials. We're surrounded by a startling number of chemical substances. It's been reported that about 10,000 synthetic chemicals are introduced every year. And levels don't have to be high. By its definition, chemical sensitivity is a reaction to low levels of toxic chemicals which accumulate in our bodies over time.
If people want to understand perhaps why their immune system is failing a bit, and that's happening to so many people these days, then they have to understand the total picture, which is what clinical ecologists call the total load concept.
Our reaction to the environment depends on many things, from how toxic a substance is to the nutritional state of the body. Our immune and detoxifying systems do what they can, but over time can become depleted. Often chronic exposure is so subtle we don't even notice it.
It's the food we eat, it's perhaps having taken too many antibiotics, perhaps having been in the wrong place when there's been some kind of chemical application, or perhaps it's from living in a brand new house and working in a brand new office simultaneously, and no time to get a good breath of fresh air. And they have to understand that they're being exposed again and again every day to a whole battery of common chemicals, okay? Those being things like formaldehyde, styrene, benzene, trichloroethylene, all phenols, all those things. Those are only 5 of about 60,000 common ones that are floating around.
Outdoor pollution is certainly the most noticeable. Smog, car exhaust, even the barbecue. But a major concern for practitioners of environmental medicine is the effect of pesticides. The body cannot easily break down chemical pollutants, and pesticides stored in fat tissue gradually release into the bloodstream, contributing to degenerative disease. Toxic chemicals can accumulate in the brain, causing behavioral changes such as depression and lack of concentration. Outdoor pollution is an obvious problem. Not so obvious are the effects of indoor pollution in the fuels we burn, the products we use, the clothes we wear.
We're just beginning to possibly realize that there's a tremendous amount of problem with the plastics that we use. Plastics are extremely toxic, and the plastics that our food come in touch with, the molecules from the plastic often migrate into the food.
Clothing, too, can be a problem, especially when fibers are synthetic or have been chemically treated to make them wrinkle-free or stain-resistant. Often, we mistake environmental symptoms for the flu: sore throat, stuffy nose, headaches, nausea. We might experience dizziness, anxiety, difficulty in concentrating. All could be due to outdoor and indoor pollution.
The thing is, when you're suffering from an environmentally related problem, you know that it's affecting everyone. I really believe that human beings are endangered species. And we have a lot of work to do very quickly. And if we work together and keep ourselves informed, and we all go about making changes in our lives, then we can survive.
Welcome to our world, the inescapable reality of life on the run. It seems the more time-saving tools we create, the faster, more complex our world becomes. Stress is a fact of life, and yet it's actually healthy for us to have a certain amount of stress from time to time.
We need stress to challenge us, stimulate us, motivate, and excite us. Without it, life would be, well, boring.
If stress is short-term, chances are we can deal with it. It's not stress that's harmful, but distress. Distress comes when emotional stress is long-term and not dealt with in a positive way. It can overwhelm us, overload us, and make us sick.
It seems that anxiety and depression are linked to the levels of stress that a person is carrying, and the brain can cope for a while, but after some amount of coping, the brain is becoming tired, and as the brain becomes fatigued, so also does the body. So anxiety, depression, fatigue, irritability, insomnia all tend to go together.
Stress triggers are all around us, everything from global events to problems at home. Some people thrive on stress, others crumble. Some of us create our own stress, simply worrying about nothing.
It's considered by so many to be something that's nebulous and uncontrollable and something that happens to you. And I have quite a different understanding of stress. It's something that we authorize or that we generate, and it's largely out of genuine ignorance. So we need to chunk stress down into 4 key types of stress: mental emotional stress, chemical nutritional stress, structural or physical stress, and electromagnetic stress. Because when you chunk it down and you do a proper lifestyle or lifestyle inventory and look at which of those areas are you more stressed in, then you can then take principle-centered actions in that particular area.
We all react differently to stress, but you might be surprised to find out that a certain amount of our stress may be caused by what we eat and drink. Caffeine is a stimulant that raises our levels of arousal and heightens the amount of stress we feel. Tobacco, alcohol, and tranquilizers may offer temporary relief, but do nothing to remove what is causing stress in the first place. Certain foods can put stress on the body, such as white flour products, processed and sugar-rich food, salt, and preserved meats. A complete and balanced diet is one of the best ways to keep your nervous system in shape. Foods rich in B vitamins, such as green vegetables and whole grains, help build resistance to stress. Foods high in potassium alleviate stress by helping the adrenal gland balance sodium and potassium levels in the body. Vitamin C is one of the most important nutrients, offering support to the adrenal glands and the body's immune system, while B vitamins do the same for the nervous system. Magnesium helps block the effects of excess adrenaline.
Physical exercise is one of the best ways to reduce stress. It increases blood flow to the brain, relaxes tense muscles, and helps you to sleep.
Many turn to meditation, of which there are many forms. What is important is that we let go of our outer concerns and responsibilities, if only for a moment. Listening to music or the sounds of nature can help wash away the stress of the day and avoid distractions that prevent us from truly relaxing.
People would just think, rather than go to the freezer and pull out a tub of ice cream when they're feeling stressed, if they just put on some soft music, light a few aromatherapy candles, and have a nice warm bath, they'll feel better for it after, and they won't have to then deal with the extra 500 calories that they just ate in a scoop of ice cream.
Sometimes we can find stress relief by using our imaginations. Imagery is a form of relaxation in which we imagine ourselves in places that can't help but calm us, like this one.
There are also a number of herbal remedies which help relieve tension. Herbs such as lime blossom, lemon balm, and chamomile all have a calming effect on the body.
We can't escape stress, but what we can do is take responsibility for it, realizing that often it's just simply a product of the way we think.
Often, it just comes down to taking time off and not feeling guilty about it, learning to take life a little less seriously. By managing our stress more effectively and more naturally, we can all improve our quality of life in the 21st century.